36 years ago on this day, revolutionary forces led by Maurice Bishop overthrew the Prime Minister of Grenada. As Stephen Gibbs reports, the coup led to another Cold War between the Cubans and Americans.
Grenada, these days a typical laid-back Caribbean hideaway. Little evidence now remains of the time when this island was the focus of a Cold War dispute.
Long live friendship, solidarity and cooperation.
1979. Maurice Bishop, a British-educated lawyer, seized power here as the leader of a popular leftist uprising, promising widespread social welfare programs and banning most political opposition. Amongst his backers was the Cuban president, Fidel Castro. Irma Vaitia, an English-language translator, was one of the hundreds of Cuban advisors that were dispatched to the island.
I was one of the many lucky Cubans who were assigned to different missions in Grenada. They were in need of qualified personnel in different areas.
The new airport will have a 9,000...
Amongst other projects, Cuba assisted with the funding and construction of this airport, which it said was to facilitate tourism to the island.
The Soviet-Cuban militarization of Grenada, in short.
President Reagan took a different view, claiming the runway was being built for military use.
At the southern end of the Caribbean chain, the Cubans, with Soviet financing and backing, are in the process of building an airfield with a 10,000-foot runway.
Building new houses.
By 1983, plans for a US invasion were well underway.
In all of the other areas
An opportunity to act came when Maurice Bishop was murdered by extremists from within his own party. Operation Urgent Fury was launched.
United States paratroopers have invaded Grenada with helicopter gunships. Our armed forces are engaging them in fierce battle.
Robert Ross is back in Grenada for the first time since he parachuted in here as a US Army Ranger.
This is the point where we had a fighting position set up here, and there was guys across the street, the runway here, firing at us.
Were you fighting Grenadians or Cubans?
Both. We was fighting Grenadians and Cubans.
After 4 days, the US had the upper hand. All the Cubans were rounded up.
First of all, they line up all the personnel, all the women first, and then the rest of the personnel.
What happened here had repercussions that went far beyond the shores of this small island nation. Many historians believe that the invasion of Grenada was a turning point for the foreign policies of both the United States and Cuba. For the US, the episode helped bury the ghost of Vietnam and convinced many in Washington that an interventionist foreign policy could be justified. Cuba, meanwhile, in the years to follow, was arguably far more cautious about exporting or appearing to export its revolution. 40 years on, Grenada has good relations with both the US and Cuba. It remains an example, perhaps, of reconciliation. Stephen Gibbs, CCTV, St. George's, Grenada.